Hello. I think my microphone is too low. There's 3 people in the audience. Hello. Who's here live right now? 4 people. What? Why are you only here for 3 more minutes? Wait, I'm confused. Who is hello, I'm here for about 3 more minutes on my lunch break as their name saying hello? I need to get a taller book. My mic is too... I can't talk like this the whole podcast. I need a bigger book. We're gonna need a bigger book. Okay. I've got 2 books. Oh, it's Elizabeth. Hello. How is everybody doing? Okay, bye. She's leaving me. It's fine. Tom will be here in a moment. And then I won't be forever alone. I'm going to check the YouTube page to see if the YouTube live stream is working. It's probably not. I would imagine, because it never does. Nope. It is not. I cannot figure out why it's not working. They told me to clear my cache. I cleared my cache. Oh, I have to say, I like Riverside FM, but their support has not been super amazing. Hey, Armut. 1917, great year. Great year. Who else is here? All right, Elizabeth is leaving. Armut's in the house. Make yourselves known. Tell me where you are calling from this evening. Yeah, I can't figure out why the stupid live stream won't work on YouTube. Oh well. Oh. No, it's on. Anywho, that's fine. People like to watch the video afterwards anyway. It's all good. Oh, what a day, what a day. Ooh, Earl Grey and fake Thin Mints. Are they from Trader Joe's? I got these they're like toffee candies, the chocolate covered toffees from Trader Joe's, and they're in like a little tray. Oh my god, they're so dangerous. Nice. Those are, you know what, I mean, you could have bought the real Thin Mints and supported the Girl Scouts. I'm just going to put that out there, but I respect the hustle. I respect the Thin Mint hustle. Last time I was eating a lot of Thin Mints, I found out later that I was pregnant, which makes sense. Well, I am not eating anything. I'm drinking Woodford Reserve tonight. It's fine. My video just got big. Weird. What does that do? Huh. Oh. Suddenly
Oh, hi.
Where is your hair?
It's mostly on the floor of my barber.
Wow. Nice. What brought that on?
I don't know.
Just felt like it?
Don't like having to deal with it. So I went in, I was trying a new barber and they have one of those signs up, has all the, hairstyles. And I was like, that one. He's like, you really want to take it off? I'm like, yeah.
Nice. It's kind of a dream of mine to shave my head someday.
Yeah.
Just for, for fun.
Well, I know a guy.
What?
I said, I know a guy. He can do,
he
can do it.
Nice. Your video doesn't look amazing. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
They haven't been very helpful on the support front here. It's starting to get a little frustrating. Good evening, Mark.
It looks better in the post version, though, right?
It typically does, yeah, but your audio keeps being out of sync. And they even went in and retranscoded it to try to fix it, and it didn't work. So I don't know what the dealio is, but so apologies to people who are watching this after the fact. And they also gave me advice for how to get the live stream to work on YouTube, and that didn't work either. We are not streaming on YouTube.
It just doesn't happen. It happened once, right?
It happened once by accident.
The one time we didn't need it to happen, it happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Anywho, anything you need to cover in advance of the show?
I don't know. Let me look. I haven't really been drinking anything interesting.
I'm having Woodford Reserve.
Fancy. I just had an Ahi Tuna Burger.
Ooh, how was that?
It was quite good. From the Habit Burger Place.
I don't know what that
Ahi
is.
Tuna Burger and tempura green beans.
Ooh, so like kind of like a Asian fusion burger place, or was it just that?
No, it's just a regular burger place, but this is on the menu, so I was like, well, that looks good. I want to get that. Yeah. That's
good. Yes.
Oh,
the video was for live stream was for 5 seconds. 5 second long live stream. What were we saying, Tom?
Do we need to cut back any? I took out one of the quick burns, but do we need to cut back any of them?
Let's see.
Line 20 would be the only one I could say I really, or 18 and 20. I guess I actually ordered these.
Yeah. 18, I would say, is good to go.
Is good to go. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You're like 18 is good. Does that mean
good
to
go? Keep in
or
forever?
Good to, yeah. 18's really good. Don't get rid of that one.
Yeah. All right. I think we're good.
Yep.
Cool.
I think so too.
Shall we?
I guess we shall.
All right.
Let me start.
Back up. I mean.
Let me do a backup recording. Oh, it doesn't like any of my. Fine.
Tomahome.
You can't spell Tomahome without home. All right.
And 3, 2, 1. It's like a minute and a half later. That's fine. And 3, 2. Hey everyone, welcome to the Sword and Laser. I'm Veronica Belmont.
And I'm Tom Merritt.
Sword and Laser is a book club, but it's so much more. We bring you author interviews, news from the world of science fiction and fantasy, and awesome discussions from fans just like you.
Sometimes they're just discussions from awesome fans like you.
It's a little late in the season for fans, I would say. I think we're starting to get into spoopy season. So
is that it's getting chillier? You don't want a fan. You don't. Yeah, we still need fans down here.
Down in LA.
Yep. Here in the land of forever summer.
Here in the land of my mortal enemies.
Oh, you mean the baseball? The
baseball. I'm mad at Tom. I'm mad at Tom because his team was supposed to beat my rival team, so that my team didn't have to go against my rival team in the big game. The second biggest game. But
why don't you want to play the rival? Isn't that more satisfying for you?
No, it's stressful. I don't need that kind of stress in my life.
See, because my wife, who is a friend of Veronica and a fan of Veronica's rival team, is like, yeah, it's fine. They're going to win. No pressure.
Her team?
She thinks your team is going to win.
She thinks my team is going to win.
Yeah. She's like, I hope we win one game.
Oh, now I feel really bad. Bad.
I said, this is probably the teams. The team, like the team waiting feels the stress, but the team that just won is probably a little looser. So
I see. All right. Well, this is not a baseball podcast. I'm just kind of setting the stage.
I love that we know that we know most of you don't care, so we're leaving out all the names of these teams,
taking all the context out of it, making it even more difficult to follow. More obtuse.
And then, of course, the old team that Veronica used to root for on the East Coast is playing right now.
Yes, that's true.
Do they still hold a place in your heart?
Also against their rivals. No, did they? Wait, they just had a wild card game. They beat the rivals. There's only one game in the wild card. Yeah. All right. Anywho, welcome to Sword and Baseballs. No, just kidding.
Hit the baseball with the laser.
Are you drinking anything tonight?
Yes, St. Francis Cabernet. Delicious, delicious wine.
Nice. I'm drinking a Woodford Reserve. Just wanted a little something, not too much. Had a nice big dinner. Everyone in the chat is commenting on. By everyone, I mean Tomahome is commenting on Tom's haircut. He's got a nice, fresh new look.
Well, thank you, Tomahome. That's very nice of you to say.
I also complimented your hair before the show.
Thank you, Veronica. It's very nice of you to say.
Thanks. All right, let's jump into the quick burns. So this is some Tom news. Buzz says the Leviathan Falls Expanse Book 9 release date has been pushed back 2 weeks again from November 16th to November 30th and December 2 in the UK.
Yeah, so this is because of the shortage that we were talking about. You can't the paper shortage with books is very similar to the chip shortage in electronics and tech, because it's not that there isn't the capacity to make the paper. It was they shut down making the paper thinking they wouldn't need to use a lot, and then suddenly everybody needed paper, and they haven't caught up since they got behind when they inaccurately predicted the market, which means that it's just a cascading thing where it's hard to get paper. Plus, there's all these shipping shortages with containers not being in the right place because everything got thrown out of whack by the pandemic and all the containers built up in weird places. Yeah. Then you have labor shortages at factories and at ports because there's occasionally COVID outbreaks and you don't have enough people. So all of that means that Leviathan Falls has been pushed from November 16th to November 30th, which honestly, given all of the stuff I just explained, that's not that bad.
Not that bad. Not that bad. It's so interesting, this like butterfly effect of just how this works.
Yeah, what the hell, butterfly?
God damn.
Like, why did you do that?
Sorry, I'm trying to. Tom Mahomey said, "Will Leviathan Falls be pink?" And I don't get the joke. Does he mean the book cover? What does he mean? What does he mean by that? Tell us what you mean by that. Oh, the 10th anniversary.
The 10th anniversary edition is
according
pink.
To Arma. Okay.
Thank you, Arma 1917.
Right.
That makes sense now.
That makes a little more sense.
Yeah, I'm not excited that it's delayed, but I'm not angry because it's coming, and it's not going to be that much delayed. So.
And we've got a lot going on right now. I mean, there's just so much in our world happening. I feel like I'm not at a loss for content at the moment.
I'll be honest. If there was a different book, I wouldn't even care at all. I'm like, yeah, 2 weeks, it's fine. There's so much in the world. It is the final book in the series, though.
That's
so there's a little extra, like, okay. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I think they said too that it was going to be like one of the biggest presses.
Yeah.
So that's like, it's coming. Like when it comes out, there's going to be a lot of it out there, which is exciting.
Jan wrote in that the British Fantasy Awards were announced. Best Newcomer went to Kathleen Jennings for Fly Away. Best Horror Novel is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. And the Best Fantasy Novel went to Alex E. Harrow for The Once and Future Witches.
Which I'm about 70% of the way through right now. And I'm
Would
really
you
enjoying.
agree that it is the best fantasy novel?
Is it the best new fantasy novel I've read this year? That's a great question. I'd have to go back and look and see what I read this year that came out this year. It's really good. Like it's certainly like I'm enjoying it.
So it's deserving.
It's well deserved. Yeah, it's super well written. The characters are great. The world building is fantastic. It's got some kind of creepy, spooky elements to it as well. So it's got a lot. It's got a lot of really good stuff, and it feels modern. Even though there's a lot of talk about like suffrage and women's rights, and so there's a lot of conversation that feels very modern as well. It doesn't take place like in this in this fictional world. It doesn't take place super in the past.
Got it.
Yeah, so but it does feel like modern themes, which is
but it's also not a historical novel where you'd be like, ooh, modern, anachronistic, because it's a fantasy world. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Jan also says, we got a lot of Jan this episode, so get ready. Laura Jean McKay has been announced as the winner of the 2021 Arthur C. Clarke Award for her novel, The Animals in That Country. I'm not familiar with this book. I feel like I've been missing out.
This is the pattern. We announced the Arthur C. Clarke Award winner, and one of us says, I'm not familiar with this book, which is one of the things I love about the Arthur C. Clarke Award, is that it usually goes to a novel that maybe hasn't got as much buzz or as much attention. So it's always worth paying attention to the Arthur C. Clarke Award winner.
Yeah, it's not getting attention. So according to Tor, McKay's book has already earned considerable accolades. It has won the 2021 Victorian Prize for Literature, the 2021 Victorian Primers Literary Prize Award for Fiction, and it was named a Book of the Year by Slate and the Sunday Times.
Yeah, when I say not as much attention, I mean like mass attention, like the sort of like everybody's talking about.
Yeah, everybody's talking about it. Mm-hmm.
The Arthur C. Clarke Awards in general, and certainly Laura Jean McKay's The Animals in That Country, getting a lot of literary attention, which I think that's the idea with the Clarke Award, is that it is for the more literary side of the genre.
Excellent. Yeah, always a good place to find new reads as well.
And then Jan.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Jan, for all of these great submissions. From Locus Mag, 1,000 Li, that's Li, which is a measurement of distance. 1,000 Li, The Second Sect by Tao Wang, is one of the 5 titles on the 2021 Kindle Storyteller Award shortlist, and the only genre pick this year. This is not a genre award, but there is a genre title on it. The award celebrates the best independent publishing and open for works that are published through Kindle Direct Publishing in the UK, and the winner will be announced later this month. Previous genre finalists have included Of the Blood by Camille Renee, The Army of Wolves by Claire Moore, Box of Frogs by Helen Harper, and Wyvern Awakening by Joanna Mazurkiewicz.
Nice pronunciation. I'm not sure if it was right, but it sounded good.
Yeah, if you hadn't said anything, no one would know except Joanna Mazurkiewicz, who would be like, no, that's not how you say it.
Treg says, more books. I see 3 going on my TBR immediately, especially Hunting by Stars by Sherry Dimeline, sequel to The Marrow Thieves, which we read.
Yeah.
Yes, and never fear, here are 63 new sci-fi, fantasy, and horror books to ease you into spooky season! Spooky season! I think there's a typo in this header, though.
In the header?
Yeah, you don't see it?
In the header of what?
In the title of this article. Never fear, here are 63 new sci-fi... Yeah, they misspelled spoopy.
Yeah,
that's a pretty big... I mean, that's right in the title.
Yeah. You think somebody would have caught that, right?
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
No.
Lots of great suggestions. Again, just another great list to go through. We've got titles by Mercedes Lackey, Kimberly Vale. Yeah, good stuff here. Interesting stuff, new stuff, spoopy stuff.
And check out our Quick Burns thread, because there's a few more titles or links to things that beef up your reading list in there as well, that we just, we couldn't go through everything. We had so much yawn.
We're not done yawning yet, let me tell you, because now it is time for Bury Your Sword, which is our feedback from the audience.
Yawn has a mini rant.
Yes,
it's a little tiny rant.
It's a yawn-isode.
Yeah. This really is turning into a yawn-isode, and that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
Jan says, mini rant, I don't like audiobooks adopting the covers of movies, especially when there are changes to the original story, or, for example, characters look differently than described in the book itself. I wish this would go away. And this is in reference to the new Dune cover for the audiobook, which I can understand. I mean, that's a pretty classic book. There's so many other cases of this happening, though.
Yeah, no, Jan says, I don't like books adopting the covers. Put audio in parentheses, because the story at Tor.com is about them changing the cover art in Audible and on audiobooks. But that happens a lot, where a movie comes out and the book cover changes to reflect the movie. I think the most dissonant example of this is the movie tie-in cover of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick, which they put pictures of Harrison Ford from Blade Runner on the cover, and then had to do this dance of like the book that inspired Blade Runner.
Yes.
Even though the book itself has nothing to do, like they've changed the story so much. Like there's character names are the same, some of the world elements are the same, like robotic animals and
it's
replicants, but
different story.
It's a very different story.
Very different story.
I believe if I'm remembering right, there were versions sold under the title Blade Runner, with Do Androids Dream and Electric Sheep in small print.
That is insane.
Yeah, I know.
Actually,
because if you didn't know anything about it and you're like, "Ooh, I loved that movie. I want to read the book now," you'd be like, "This is nothing like the movie."
Yeah, Count Zero Or in the chat says, "I'll see you that," and Ray's "All You Need Is Kill" getting re-released as Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise on the cover. So that's another.
I don't know if that's a raise or not, but it's certainly another example of that. And the best part about that, to add to Count Zero Or, they also re-released Edge of Tomorrow as Kill, Die, Repeat.
Really?
Because they thought Edge of Tomorrow didn't get across what the movie was about.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, well, why didn't you just call it All You Need Is Kill if you're going to change the title anyway?
That's so bizarre. And to be fair, I think Count Zero Or was raising from the Dune cover, not from your example. So I think your examples were on a level, on the same level,
certainly.
I would say. Mm-hmm.
It's not a competition.
We do have a competition with Tom, though, and this one comes from Eric, who says, "Not to argue with Tom too much, but the idea of the Saxons invading and driving out the Celts is out of favor now with archaeologists. DNA testing is debunking that hypothesis. The new idea is that a small number of Saxons and related people moved to Britain and the locals adopted Saxon ways."
Yeah, I looked into this, and he's right. There's some controversial. There's some debates around this, but it does seem like there's a school thinking that there was more settlement. To which I told to Eric, like, okay, help me out, because my point was not like I know so much about the Saxons and the Celts. My point was in our discussion last time that there are plenty of examples throughout human history of this happening. It's not like it suddenly started happening in the 1600s. So Eric, I already asked him this on the thread as well. Like, so tell me an example that does fit that. If this one doesn't work for you, you've got the knowledge here, help us out. Give us something to work with.
And then there's me, who doesn't even remember why we were talking about the Saxons on the last episode in the first place.
Yeah, you just picked it because it was like, ooh, Tom's wrong. That'll be fun. Oh, I know. Don't think I don't know.
No, honestly, I was really struggling to find barrier sword entries tonight.
You've got lots of stuff. We got lots of great stuff in here.
Tamahome says, "I wonder if Veronica makes her own kombucha."
Do you make your own kombucha?
I don't. I'm not that kind of San Francisco hippie. I'm sorry. I don't have a kombucha mother or whatever they call them.
Is that what it's called?
It's called the mother, yeah.
Yeah, like the yeast that you use for your
original,
kombucha?
and you can go and get like pieces of the mother from other people and come and take that back. Someone's going to correct me and say that I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it's called the mother.
Yes, archaeologists now favor calling your kombucha mother something else.
So no, I do not make my own kombucha.
Well, let's go over to Trike then regarding wine. Trike says, "I'm not an enophile." Mm-hmm. OENOPHILE.
Just
and the only wine I've ever
actually means you're an oenophile.
The only wine I've ever actually liked was a white Merlot. But one of the things I've picked up over the years is that this stuff about white goes with fish and red goes with meat and MD 2020 goes with meth is that all of that is nonsense. Well, I don't know. The MD 2020 might be right. But he says all of that is nonsense that's a result of some petty palace politics back in the day. Like the dumb never split an infinitive. This is not a real rule. So don't feel bad about your wine preferences just because some old French guy got in a fight with some old British guy and they picked sides. Shouldn't dictate your choices.
Yeah, I know. And I knew that in my heart.
I totally agree.
But it always just feels so judgmental at the time when you're dealing with it and you have to feel like you know the rules, you know? So
I feel like there's something to the idea that a light white wine and a light white fish kind of do complement each other a little more than a red. But I'm totally with Trike where it's like, yeah, but if you want a red, just have the reds. It's not like it's wrong. This is
very much I don't follow a lot of Gary Vee's teachings in the world of business and entrepreneurship and all that stuff. Yeah. But the one thing he said that always stuck with me was the best wine is the one you like. Or it's like the best wine is the one you'll drink.
Yeah, for sure.
And that has always stuck. It's true, you know? Drink what you like.
it's the same philosophy behind the best camera is the one you have with you.
Yes.
Kind of idea, right? Like, which is, sure, there are better wines, there are better cameras, and we can argue about what they are, but don't get so caught up in it that you don't end up taking photos or drinking wine. Like, enjoy yourself.
Very little will ever stop me from drinking wine. We'll just put that out
or
there.
Me taking photos of Veronica drinking wine with the camera I have with me.
So thank you for wine chat. Quickly following baseball chat and
we're sort of like the back half of an old newspaper: sports, lifestyle, literature.
Speak for yourself, old newspaper.
I said old newspaper because I realized if I said back half of a newspaper, a lot of people are like, "Who reads a newspaper?"
Oh, I tried subscribing to a newspaper for a while, and they just piled up. I couldn't get through them. It was too much.
I subscribe to newspapers. But I just read them online. I don't get the paper, which I feel is better because I'm not wasting a bunch of paper.
There you go. All right. Well, speaking of someone who is like an old newspaper, let's talk about Nosferatu by Joe Hill.
His skin, Nosferatu.
Yeah. So this is a kickoff, episode in a sense. We're a little
we sort
further
of kicked it off last time. So this is kind of our, I would call it our first impressions, but non-spoilery.
Yes. Oh boy, this is a spoopy book. This is
You wanted spoopy.
I wanted scary, and I'm getting scary, and I'm feeling scary.
Yeah, this is scarier than a werewolf bar mitzvah.
Yeah, it is spooky scary. It's super hard to not get spoilery, but let's just talk about kind of the beginning.
One thing I wanted to say that's not spoilery
sure.
in detail is that you should look up trigger warnings for this. We don't tend to do trigger warnings on the show because there are so many of them. And if we say some of them and leave some out, then I feel like we're doing people a disservice. But I think it is worth saying, if you didn't figure this out already or find out for yourself, there are trigger-worthy elements of this book. And there's lots of great places where you can find trigger warnings that are non-spoilery that will just tell you, like, hey, if this is the thing you're worried about, these are the books that are on that. I shared one of those resources in the Sword and Laser Discord recently, but you doing a quick DuckDuckGo search or something will find it for you. But yeah, it's not a gory book, but it definitely has adult situations.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I'm certainly feeling like kind of intense about certain parts of the book already, and I'm trying to be like, okay, it's fiction. And I think something else we were talking about in the Discord a little bit as well was about how this really does feel like a love letter to Stephen King, Joe Hill's father. I think it's been said out there on the internet that this is, was kind of written with Stephen King in mind in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah, there's a few very obvious Easter eggs in there for sure. And just the general tone of it feels like a Stephen King story.
And I've read a lot of Stephen King, and so I was getting that,
too.
Even not having read any Joe Hill before, and kind of like, I was aware of it, but I think I had kind of put it into the back of my mind, the familial connection there. But it felt so like such a Stephen King novel, like right off the bat to me. And that feeling has definitely kind of continued for me, at least. That might not be true for everybody. But it was hard for me to get out of that mindset a little bit, just because of the themes and the writing in the story itself. But I'm liking it.
I read The Fireman.
I'm enjoying it.
I read The Fireman.
Oh, you did?
Which I feel like is very different than this. And I read Lock and Key.
Yeah.
I wish I had read The Fireman recently. I could give you a really good answer, but my sense, particularly about The Fireman, not so much Lock and Key, although they share an element that is very focused more on individual psychology and personal relationships than on broader psychology of the world around you than Stephen King. So the fireman and how he interacts with people is the mystery in the story in The Fireman. The kids and how they interact with the things they find and the people in the town they move to is lock and key. Whereas I feel like Stephen King, he's often like, how am I interacting with the mystery? How is the person interacting with, you know, the doors in the Gunslinger, or the, you know, the road in The Stand. And I'm finding that in Nosferatu, where it's how am I interacting with the car and the bridge and, you know,
and the bike
and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I am curious to learn more about the TV show as well, because a lot of people in the chat have been discussing the TV show and the similarities and the characters in there. Zachary Quinto's in it. I haven't actually looked at IMDb to see if he plays Bing. Does he play Nosferatu? Does he play...
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah. Does he play... Why am I forgetting?
You know, I should double check it. I've started watching it 4 times, and I just
really
cannot keep going with it each time. And I think it's because I've read the book now. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what this part's about. Like, it's not working for me. I think I'll probably get going, you know, once I've gotten past the opening where it's setting everything up.
Holy crap. Joe Hill looks exactly like Stephen King, like a young Stephen King.
No, he really does.
Oh my God.
Like, he could work a little harder not to if he wanted to, I think.
Yeah. But this is the first time I've seen a picture of him. That's incredible.
What's that beard, right?
Yeah. Mark says he's a clone. Tamahome says Manx. Thank you, Charles Manx.
Yes, I was pretty sure. I was, well, okay, so now.
Okay, so he plays Manx. There he is. I
was about to say that.
But Manx is so much older. Does he look older?
And I can confirm that Quinto is playing the old Manx in the first episode.
Okay.
Obviously, from the poster art, he's not always going to look old, and I don't know why, which is different in the book. I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say he's just an old guy.
Well, no, because in the first scenes with Bing, when he meets Bing, he's younger-ish looking. He says Bing says he's like 40s.
Well,
like
hold on, we're gonna get spoiler if we're not careful. But when you say younger, like
he appears younger.
Yeah, but younger than he does later.
Yes.
Not like between
Not
the
healthier.
difference between a 70-year-old man and a 40-year-old man.
No, he looks in the beginning. Bing says that he looks like could be in his 40s.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, like when he first meets him.
I totally
but
missed
that.
But
he has like an age, his eyes look older, like he feels older, but like he looks like he's in his 40s. But
I imagined him being 60s, looking up to 90s through the whole thing, but I guess I just
later,
wasn't paying attention.
I think after all that goes down in like the hospital and that's.
I remember what you're talking about with Bing, but I remember him saying, you know, he looked older in his eyes than in his skin, but I don't remember the 40s stuff. So I just
remember that. I remember that clearly.
Yeah.
I could.
No, I believe you. I just must have missed that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've been listening to the audiobook. It's fantastic. It's really well.
Oh yeah,
done.
because Kate Mulgrew.
Oh my gosh, she's incredible.
And you very quickly, anybody who's worried, you very quickly stop thinking of her as Captain Janeway. If that were the way. If you don't know the Star Trek Voyager, you might think of her as Orange is the New Black or something. But whatever character you have thought of Kate Mulgrew as sounding like, you will stop thinking about that. She performs this audiobook reading very well.
Oh yeah, she's an incredible voice actor. She does an amazing job. Yeah, super creepy, super like transformative. Each character feels very distinct, even Lou. So there's a lot of, and Wayne is great. Sorry, am I getting spoilery? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Just naming characters shouldn't count as a spoiler.
So anyway, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's more intense than I think I expected. I don't know what I was expecting. Definitely, if
it's more intense than I expected too, though.
Yeah, and that's you having had read Joe Hill before as well.
Yeah, because I don't know, maybe I just forgot the parts of the firemen. I suppressed any parts of the firemen that are as. But there were parts of this audiobook where I'm like, ooh, oh, okay. Maybe, do I want to skip forward through this?
Yeah.
Like, it was intense.
How far along are you?
I'm
done.
done.
You done? You're done?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm gonna be done soon.
That is the one thing I will say is I was finding time to listen. I was into the mystery. I wanted to know what happened.
House has been clean. House has been real clean this week. Dishes put away, vacuumed, laundry folded. Yeah, real clean house. That's how you know. That's how you know.
The dog's like, you just gave me a bath. I don't need another one.
You just bathe. What are you doing?
When the dogs start complaining that they don't want to go on another walk, you're like, oh yeah, you're doing this too much.
Totally. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I am looking forward to having like a more full discussion of this over on Discord and Goodreads once I'm done, because I know people are already chatting, which is great. But yeah. It's an interesting one. Definitely this. I think this is easily the scariest book we've ever read.
Probably. Well, we don't do horror.
Horror-y.
This is a legit horror book. It's the first time we've ever done something that is not sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah. I'm waiting for.
That's Veronica though. She breaks the rules. So.
Breaking the law. I'm waiting for Tazzy Dave to be like, actually, on the wiki, we have read this book, which was regarded as being a horror
being scarier.
Yeah.
I'm hesitant to say we've never read a scarier book, but this is definitely. I mean, horror has fantastical elements to it, always. Maybe not always, but often. So it certainly fits in. It's always been kind of right there, adjacent. I've always worried that, if we do that, it's not too long before we're reading, true crime because of mission creep. So
all right, it's not necessarily it's not scope creep. It's not slippery sloping.
You gotta be careful.
It's Halloween, and so we're reading. It's
Halloween, special occasion. Yeah.
Halloween is like my favorite. I really love this time of year. They're all my favorite holidays. I love holidays this time of year. It's the best. Halloween is like one of my favorites, and then I love.
So you want me to pick a Thanksgiving book for November, or a Veterans Day?
It'd be a horror Thanksgiving book.
No, it'll just be about meals.
It'll day of the turkey.
Food fiction.
Yeah. Well,
which would be Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Oh, hey, did you watch the trailer for the...
Oh, yeah. No one put that in our quick burns, and I dropped the ball and did not add it. Yes, the trailer for House of the Dragon.
I can't even remember the title. This is what's bad. This is why we're messed up, because this is why HBO's messed up, is because they're like, everyone's going to love this. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be our next big hit. And everyone's like, meh. Like, there's just, people aren't excited.
The buzz has been huge.
Has it?
People are House of the Dragon. I was right. I feel like
nobody's talking about it.
Well, you're not talking to the right people then, because it's apparently people are very excited about it, and people who were skeptical are saying, "Man, I didn't think I was going to be that into it, but look, dragons! Oh my gosh, this looks like it's going to be done right." Like, I'm seeing a lot of that out there.
It's Matt Smith. That's really what I'm here for.
He definitely sounds like a Targaryen, not the Doctor.
Yeah.
Or Prince Philip.
I know. He's definitely become almost more Prince Philip in my mind now, which is really depressing to me. Yeah. Or just recency bias, I guess.
But you watched it and you liked it?
Trailer?
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't much to... I mean, I guess...
There's not too much in there. Okay, sounds like you're like... you found it a little mid. I haven't started
watching Foundation either, because I don't have Apple TV.
Well, you could get Apple TV.
I will, because I bought a new phone, so I get free Apple TV.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Easy.
Anyway.
Yeah, the trailer is short. With the stuff that I was seeing about people going crazy about it, I thought it would have a lot more in it. I was like, oh, okay. But did you notice the throne?
Yes, it's much bigger.
Yeah, this is more like the throne you have read about in the books.
Tom, I just have to say something funny. Yes, that is true. But also, I was all excited because I thought we had 50 people in the chat room. It's just the number of messages in the chat room. It's not the number of people. I was like, wow, we tweeted out the episode and people must be really excited. We've got 50.
Yeah. Every
50
time
listeners.
someone says something, we get another person. Oh, now it's up to 51.
Yeah, we have 9 people, but that's still more than usual. So I'm happy to have all of you here. It's super fun.
Yeah, just for kicks.
But that's I guess that's pretty much that's an episode. Yeah. So pick up Nosferatu if you're worried about feeling nervous about certain subject matters. Like, look into the trigger warnings. They're definitely going to be out there on the internet, or hop into Discord. I'm sure people would be happy to fill you in gently and spoiler free. Yeah. Anything else you have to add?
No, that's it. Just do a search for list of trigger warnings or trigger warning resources if you're having a hard time. But like Veronica said, just look it up in Discord.
Yep. And thank you to all of our patrons. Thank you all the folks who back our show. If you want to help support us, you can head over to patreon.com/swordandlaser.
You can also support the show by buying books through our links, many of them now from bookshop.org, which helps out independent bookstores. Find those links to the books we talk about and some of our favorites at swordandlaser.com/picks.
Send us an email, please, at feedback@swordandlaser.com. Our website is swordandlaser.com. We are on Instagram and Twitter at swordandlaser. And you can join in on all the discussions at goodreads.com/swordandlaser. And thank you to all the folks in our live chat. Thank you to Tamahome, Armut, Prosecca, and Elizabeth was in earlier, but she had to take off. Mark, hello, and all the other folks who listened to us live.
Count Zero Or. Don't forget Count Zero Or.
I got Count Zero Or. Got them. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so